Hey Dumplings, it's Dave Decides. Today I want to get into V's alleged manager and apparently what happened with that and some nude shirtless pics being sent around. I also want to get into Jin addressing a situation and rumor of not liking the other members. So hater or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. Go grab your dumpling, a taste spilling mug merch, and let's get into it. The first thing that I wanted to get into is Jin and what happened recently. I think it's so funny how people jump to conclusions online, and just because something isn't posted publicly like a friendship, that they think that the friendship no longer exists. This happens so much and I see it all the time, but then years later you'll see the two people at a public event or getting along and everything is good. Something people need to understand in the industry is that people move on with different projects. You might see a celebrity and their friend making so many videos together and public appearances, and then one day you just don't see it anymore. It doesn't mean that they're not friends anymore. It likely means one of them got really busy with their personal goals and couldn't make the appearances anymore. But the two friends probably still keep up with each other and get lunch every now and then when they can. I almost find it more refreshing to know that the two celebrities are not showing up publicly, but are showing up for each other. The entertainment industry is very shallow and sometimes unfair, so people will literally get into relationships with someone of higher power just to gain clout or whatever. This is well known. So I think it's refreshing to see that two friends are actually friends because they are with each other without cameras. Of course, since there's no cameras, we don't actually know if they are together, I just assume. And the novelty of wishing someone either happy birthday or congrats on their new single release is a bit overrated. I think as friends, you can definitely support by sharing the single or whatever, but the most important thing is to just be there and support the artist's friend. So when something like this happens and an artist has a big event coming, but their alleged close friends or bandmates aren't posting about it, the fandom then takes that time to send hate to every member, accusing them of being fake and not a real friend. Artists obviously know this is what goes on, but oftentimes they forget to post because so many things are going on in their personal life. So when they finally get around to posting it, they already see the death threats and now they're accused of backpedaling. When Jimin's birthday came around, Jin made sure to post right away and say that he wished Jimin a happy birthday separately, and obviously off camera. Jin also added that he rushed to post this comment for everyone to see because he knows if there's no public comment, people are going to assume that they're on bad terms. And wanted to clarify both of them are on great terms. And just because you don't see public interactions, it means nothing. Also, to a lot of people, their birthday isn't a huge deal. With an idol, it doesn't really make sense for me to say that because there are all these birthday celebrations, posters, billboards, and even a nice live stream. But it could definitely be possible that members wouldn't care so much about their birthday. I just know too many people that could not care less. I feel like the boys are at a place where they've just found peace. The industry is very hard because if you're someone who is consistently trying to not let go and holding on to something that is really hard for anyone to keep, it can be mentally taxing on you. Now, I am not saying BTS has lost their fame or any of that because that's not true, but I have a feeling they may not care as much. They've got their money, they're stable, they're doing what they love, and that is how they have found peace. There may not be a goal of them trying to beat their own record constantly, and if they don't, they'll be upset. You see how that would drain anyone's happiness. But one of the main rules that it seemed HYBE had was no shirtless pics or those sort of things. In recent new months, BTS has been posting so many shirtless selfies and those things. Jungkook has been somewhat nude during his concert recently, and Taehyung had even taken a shirtless pic as well. Taehyung recently also posted something that turned heads for free, ended up trending on Twitter because so many people were wondering why Taehyung would post something for free. Taehyung posted a photo of him walking on the beach and showing his feet. People think that this should be on OnlyFeet or something. Like that it should be content that someone is paying for. I mean, if you're into feet, this is kind of romantic, no? Feet on a beach. I'm personally not into feet and actually a little feet phobic, so I don't see this as romantic as much as kind of gross. But I will make an exception for Taehyung's feet, as I imagine they are very clean and nice. This is the longest I have ever spoken about feet. People think that this was Taehyung's way of giving up, like he no longer cares about the rules and he's just like, F it, I'm going to post whatever I want. And he did. He did post that. He decided whatever he wanted, and it was feet apparently. But I do think all of the members have been on this kick of just doing whatever they want, and I'm here for it because they only have so long to be young and to do weird and fun things. Why not just do them? At this point, they can do whatever they want without the risk of hurting BTS. They'll just be representing themselves. But the individual members actually don't get too much perk of being a part of BTS, either with their day-to-day activities or even their music stuff. People think that just because the members are a part of BTS that they can make radio and TV appearances with their solo songs when they release their song. However, that's not true because publicists can still pitch someone like J-Hope's new album to radio and TV, and the same American radio and TV that BTS was on, those stations may not want J-Hope because J-Hope's name may not sell as well as the name BTS. And so because everything is so divided like that, and the members can do what they want now, I love that. Some of the recent Gurumi photos and situations have been interesting. I think it was said that Gurumi will stop uploading pictures until YG's investigation ends. Apparently they still haven't received any legal notice. And Gurumi said that they were more than willing to go to court to defend this. The thing is, I don't think this will go to court, but also if it does, there's nothing to defend. This isn't like you're both arguing because you hurt each other's businesses and are losing money. If this goes to court, it would be over the idea of why Gurumi is so obsessed with exposing this couple. Like, what is the point? Apparently a new photo came out and it was believed to be from Gurumi, but I have no evidence of that. And it could be edited or it could be from other sources. It was a shirtless picture of V that had never been seen before. And unfortunately, if the image was a hacked image, I cannot post it here. It's obviously an invasion of privacy. YG had posted their statement not too long ago, basically asking from that point on to not spread any leaked photos any further, as the fans and news sites don't know what is real or not, and if it is real, then people would be spreading very private, intimate photos. But it looks like V was in his apartment and you saw shoulder and up. It was believed that this was sent to Jennie since it was allegedly found on her iCloud. This is obviously speculation because there is no proof of that at all. Like, the photos could even be edited and then just said that it was on Jennie's iCloud. Anyone could just take a photo and claim that. Like, if I were to claim that Jennie has photos of kidnappings on her cloud, like, that would be terrible and people would just do that. So don't just blindly believe everything. Of course, since this came out, armies were protesting even more for HYBE and YG to take legal action because this is crossing a line too far. A shirtless picture or anything like that should only be shared with the two people involved. And does this count as sexual harassment to take someone's more intimate photos and moments and share it? Now, as you can probably tell, I am taking this from the perspective that the two might be dating. But the other side of the coin is that the two are likely not dating and the photos are not real. So this is just absolutely so weird to just assume. It was even weirder because people believe that Gurumi had confirmed their link to the agency and to the members. This would be why Gurumi would know all of this information. However, why is still the big question. If you're someone in the industry and know all of these people, why do you care so much about exposing this couple? Did Taehyung slap you on the face and say that he would never be exposed for dating and you took that personally? I would never take that personally if Taehyung slapped me. I would love that. I'm joking. But allegedly Gurumi had mentioned a username in an old tweet. I believe the person that Gurumi had mentioned ended up being believed to be Taehyung and Jennie's manager. There were some photos where it appeared like the same person had stood next to Jennie and Taehyung on two separate occasions. So people think that since there was a little link between a virtually unknown person, that this could be the person who is helping the leak. But please don't just assume that. Now you'll be attacking an innocent person for no reason. And in the photos that are supposed to be proof that this is the same person standing next to Taehyung and Jennie, the person is wearing a mask when standing next to Taehyung. You actually never see a clear face. It's a bit at this point grasping at straws because there's nothing else to grasp at. But what do you think? How do you feel about V giving up and just posting whatever? How do you feel about this alleged manager getting involved over the Gurumi situation? And how do you feel about Jin talking about situations in which they forget to publicly wish someone congratulations online? Let me know what you think and make sure you check out my Patreon for more videos, link down below. Thanks for this lovely comment right here. Love you, bye.